Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and yesterday here at the channel I posted a video talking about how to farm for keys as a solo player during the Cherry Blossom event, and in the comment section of that video some of you reached out asking what build I was using, so today I wanted to give you a very quick breakdown. Now as most of you know, I never want to waste your time here at the channel, so to give you a quick breakdown in the first 30 seconds, the first build is going to be 4-piece Striker, the Overdog's gloves, and the Equalizer body armor. Second build is going to be the Ninja Bike backpack, 3 Striker, and the Equalizer as the body armor, and the Salvo as the holster. Now if that's all you need to hear, feel free to click off this video right now. However, for everyone else, we are going to take a few moments, go over the builds, and as always answer some of the questions you sent the channel, and talk about farming for keys as well. Now, starting with the specialization, we are using Gunner, doing that for the following reasons. First of all, you're going to get that armor on kill, you get a reload speed increase. This gives you access to the Banshee Pulse, you get some extra rate of fire as well. And always remember, make sure to have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree, that way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Now the reason I mention that is because a lot of players out there, including myself, we use the same template for different builds, and if you forget to switch your weapons, you're leaving weapon damage on the table and you do not want to make that mistake. Now as you can see, my primary for this build is the Lexington. This is one of those must-have items in the game, and thankfully you can farm for it right now during the Cherry Blossom event. I'll talk about how to get it in a moment. I also need to mention this is at expertise level 30 because it happens to be one of the few weapons in the game that I actually took the time and resources to level up because I use it with so many different damn builds, and this has the Talent Killer, where killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 70% crit hit damage for 10 seconds. My secondary weapon is an ACS-12 with the Talent Killer. We are using this to build those stacks for Striker as quickly as possible. However, if you have the Rock and Roll Shotgun, you can use that, or if you have the Stack Broker, that's another great option. And as far as my sidearm is concerned, I'm using the Quick Step because when you have that in your hand, you're going to get an extra 20% movement speed bonus, and thankfully you can farm for that weapon during this event as well. Now making our way to the gear itself, as I mentioned a moment ago, we're running 4 Striker, 1 unit alloys, and the Overdog's gloves. Starting with the mask, it's the first of 4 Striker. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, 4 pieces Striker's Gamble, where weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. Next we have the body armor. It's the 1 piece of unit alloys, and as you can see we are using the named body armor, the Equalizer. It has the Talent Perfect Obliterate, where critical hits are going to increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 24 times. Next we have the holster and the knee pads, 2 more pieces of the Striker gear set. And you will notice I'm doing my best to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Next we have the gloves, my friends, and they are the Overdogs. These are another one of those must-have exotics in the game. They have the Talent Weakest Link. That is going to amplify weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemy currently in combat, as per the tier hierarchy. Last but not least, we have the backpack. It is the 4th and final piece of Striker, and because we are wearing the Striker backpack, we do have access to the Talent Risk Management, and that is going to increase the weapon damage gain per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.65% to 0.90%, which makes it one of the best gear set backpacks in the game. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm using the combination of the Banshee Pulse and the Crusader Shield. And really quick, for those of you out there who do not have the Overdogs, I recommend doing this. Switch your gloves to a piece of Striker. Once that's done, you're going to switch your holster to another piece of unit alloys. That's going to give you an extra 20% assault rifle damage bonus. This is another great combination, my friends. However, I do want to mention in the gameplay footage you're about to see, I am using the version with the Overdog's gloves. I just want to make that really clear. Now, as I said a moment ago, I'm using the Banshee Pulse and the Crusader Shield because things can get sideways incredibly fast when you're trying to take out those KITSUNEBI squads or the Ronin as a solo player. And as far as my numbers are concerned, for this build I'm sitting at 57% crit hit chance, the max is 60, and 113 crit hit damage, and remember those numbers are going to be dependent on not only the gear I have equipped, but having a Shade Watch of level 1000. Now at this point, as promised, I do want to show you the variation I was using in yesterday's video, and you can see I've done the following. Switch the backpack to the Ninja Bike. This has the Talent Resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set's bonus. And that simply means even though we only have 3 pieces of Striker equipped, we do get that 4-piece bonus, which is exactly what we're targeting. After that, we have the body armor and the holster. They are 2 pieces of the unit alloys brand set, but again, because of the Ninja Bike, we get that 3rd brand set bonus as well. And once again, we are using the Equalizer as the body armor and the Salvo as the holster. Now as I mentioned in every single build video I post, once again remember this is just a template. The most important thing you can do in this game is take your time, make a build your own. And when I say that, you may look at this build and say to yourself, you know what, I don't want any blue cores whatsoever. Want to run all red? And at the same time, some of you may be thinking, you know what? I want to be sitting at 1.5 million armor, or let's say 1.1. Again, try these variations, make this thing your own. And as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. And as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. Second video for today, my friends. I posted a video talking about the triple XP event going on in the game right now. If you missed that, do me a favor, check that thing out. It talks about why you want to farm right now, especially if you are trying to get to level 1000 on your Shade Watch. And as I said yesterday, I posted a video talking about farming for keys, but I do kind of want to revisit that topic right now. Now, first of all, when you're farming the KITSUNEBI squads, you can farm these on any difficulty that you want. The game has said the higher the difficulty will give you a better chance for getting keys, but to be clear, I've heard from so many players out there saying they farm on challenging or lower, and they're getting a bunch of different keys, so it does boil down to luck in many ways. Now, having said that, apparently there's something going on in the game where the Ronin can spawn non-stop if you're running in a group, or let's say you use random matchmaking and you search open world activities or open world exploration. I think it's what it is. Chances are you're going to find a group that's farming these KITSUNEBI squads, and they're able to actually get these squads and the Ronin to spawn infinitely, so they're able to stack keys incredibly fast. Now, as someone who plays this game solo, I have no idea how that system works, but that's how you're seeing a lot of people have a lot of keys really quick. Pretty sure the game is aware of it. I assume they are going to patch it pretty damn soon. Which now, my friends, takes us to the base of ops, and we are at the event vendor, and you can see my broke ass only has 11 keys. We're going to try to buy a few different gear caches and see if we can get some decent items. And remember, you can possibly get prototype gear from opening up the gear caches. And if you are trying to get the Lexington or the Turmoil, these are the caches you want to target as well. Now, as I said in the video yesterday, as a solo player, there are times when I face 3 or 4 of these squads and I don't see a single key drop, and then, I log out, log back in later in the day, and then I'm facing squads and I'm getting 2 or 3 keys per squad. So, like most things in this game, it all boils down to luck sometimes, and obviously I wish you nothing but the best. That's all I got for this video, my friends. I'm still feeling under the weather, so I'm going to make some herbal tea and get a good night's sleep. That's how we roll, baby. All right, everybody. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.